I had a strong discussion with people like Lamido Lamido and even the national chairman of PDP when I was head of strategy of Atiku group. And I said, look, I see a phenomenon. PDP is coming. There's something move about it. A wave coming. And they said, look, it can't get 1 million votes. They told me that, say, if he gets 1 million votes, we will retire from politics.
But they are still there.
They got 6 point something.
Over 6 million votes.
So let's even forget whether rigging or not rigging, at least official clear vote, 6%. Without a House of 4 months to that election with no councillor, no chairman, no party.
Right, everyone, welcome to Post Media. The 2023 general election is getting momentum gradually, and we are beginning to see a lot of alignment and realignment between politicians and individuals of certain concerns. Now, this video will help us look at Peter Obi and the ADC in particular. Now, ADC is the umbrella body that brought together, or that brought together rather, the opposition party in Nigeria, and top among them is Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar. Now, as things are today, if things go well the way it's supposed to, we are either going to have Peter Obi or Atiku Abubakar in the ballot, and probably we may still also have Obi if things didn't work out for him there in ADC. But of course, if things work out for Obi in ADC, we may likely have him as the sole person. But of course, the other consideration of probably coming to Labour Party. Now, this particular interview with Arise TV is an important interview that will shape our narrative concerning Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar. Now, before now, everyone have been looking down on Peter Obi, but of course he proved a lot of people wrong during the last 2023 general election, where I think he got about 6 million votes. Now, as it is now, Peter Obi seems to be the only candidate with massive followers in the southern part of Nigeria, aside President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And now there is this Atiku that has been there since 1993, always contesting. Now, the political calculation here is that while Atiku may still be popular in the north, of course he may not have that popularity in the south, and Obi is gradually moving towards the north, especially the middle belt, the Christian areas in particular. This particular interview is very, very important for us to know and digest what could happen in 2027, because this election is going to be paramount and it's going to say a lot of things. Now, everybody definitely is not going to take this election lightly, including the president, because having somebody like Trump on the throne, everyone as the president of the United States of America and other key allies, everyone is definitely focused on Nigeria. Let us not forget that not quite long the Americans were here to target a particular enclave of Boko Haram, or rather terrorists, and with that in mind, it clearly shows that Nigeria is definitely in the eyes of the world, and whatever political happenings that is going to we are expecting here is going to be it's going to draw a lot of attention. Whatever election and whatever we play our politics, however we play our politics, or however we choose to play our politics in this 2026 general election, is going to say a lot, and the world definitely will pay its attention on Nigeria, because a lot has been happening in Nigeria that is going to draw, I think, global attention and reaction. So this particular video is here for you to go through and let me know what you feel.
I had a strong discussion with people like Sule Lamido and even the national chairman of PDP when I was head of strategy of Atiku group. And I said, look, I see a phenomenon. P2B is coming. There's something move about it. A wave coming. And they said, look, he can't get 1 million votes. They told me that, say, if he gets 1 million votes, we will retire from politics.
But they're still there.
They got 6 point something.
Over 6 million votes.
So let's even forget whether rigging or not rigging, at least official clear vote, 6 point. Without a House of 4 months to that election with no councillor, no chairman, no party structure.
In the prelude to the 2022 presidential primaries of the PDP, I had written extensively, well circulated, well publicized opinion articles, where we cautioned the PDP against the idea of jettisoning zoning of the presidency to the south by 2023, by leaving open its contestation for the presidency because of the winnability factor, which saw Atiku Abubakar taking the ticket of the PDP. We had warned that if the PDP does not zone to the south, and specifically to the southeast, that the party was going to run into troubled waters and sink into oblivion in the post-Buhari era. And that seems to be happening. So whatever crisis you are seeing in the PDP today, particularly the one happening in court today, is simply a symptom of a deeper ailment. You see, the violation of zoning in the PDP was like a mortal sin that the PDP committed. And when he did that, of course, you know the good book says the wages of sin is death. The southern part of this country has been the most consistent support base for the PDP, especially when it fell from power in 2015. The southeast particularly was like the lifeblood, the oxygen that kept the PDP afloat. At the time that there was a strong agitation, 17 southern governors met in Asaba to say, look, we want the presidency to shift to the south. Expectedly, the APC is made up of an alliance between the north and the southwest, led by the current president, Bola Tinubu, who was then the leader of the opposition. But the PDP is an alliance between some sections of the north and the south-south, and especially the southeast. So one would have expected that while the APC would gravitate towards the southwest, coming to the south, the PDP should have gravitated towards the southeast, coming to the south as well. So in this instance, people like Atiku Abubakar and others from the north should have mobilized support towards the southeast. And in this instance, the party was so fortunate that they had a candidate, or especially an aspirant, a figure then in the PDP, who was so phenomenally popular ahead of even the presidential primaries, that everybody thought common sense. He ticks all the boxes. He's from the right part of the country. He has the qualities that have been able to galvanize and inspire such a level of followership as you've not seen before in Nigerian politics. And I'm talking about Mr. Peter Obi.
And they lost the chance.
They lost that chance.
Okay.
And they lost the southeast in the process. Look, you might be looking at Mbadi campaign today. Let me tell you something. Anambra State, which used to be a hotbed of PDP politics, had its governorship primaries some months ago. Nobody, not one single individual, picked the form to contest for the primaries on the platform of the PDP.
For proper context, it is important to remember that Sam Amadi was part of Atiku Abubakar's team during the 2023 general elections. From that position, he spoke to them objectively and honestly about the obedient movement and the growing wave of support around Peter Obi. He warned them that something new and powerful was happening in Nigerian politics. Unfortunately, his warnings were dismissed. He was told there was nothing like an obedient wave and that Obi was not a serious factor. We all know how that ended. Despite having no traditional political structure, no sitting governors and no entrenched party machinery, Peter Obi went on to win the election. The obedient movement proved to be real, organic and nationwide. It shocked the political establishment and completely altered the political conversation in Nigeria. Now, where this becomes really interesting is what is happening as we move toward the 2027 elections. One would expect that after the lessons of 2023, the political class would have learned something. One would think they would reassess their assumptions, rethink their strategies, and stop underestimating the Nigerian people. Shockingly, that has not happened. Instead, the same politics of dismissal has returned, stronger, louder, and more arrogant. They are once again dismissing Peter Obi's popularity. They are downplaying his influence. They are pretending that what happened in 2023 was an accident, a fluke, or a one-off event. Frankly, this line of thinking is unreasonable, illogical, and disconnected from reality. It is difficult to understand how the same people who were wrong in 2023 are so confident in repeating the same mistakes in 2027. They are recycling the same old rhetoric used in 2023, looking for anything at all to cling to in order to dismiss Obi's popularity and his chances of winning. Now, the new excuse is that the dynamics have changed. They argue that those who voted for Obi in 2023 will not vote for him again in 2027. Some even go as far as saying Obi only won Christian votes and that such support will not repeat itself. These arguments are not just weak, they are intellectually lazy. First, there is no credible evidence to support the claim that Obi's supporters will abandon him in 2027. In fact, if anything, the opposite is true. The economic hardship, rising insecurity, unemployment, and worsening standard of living have only strengthened the appeal of a candidate associated with competence, prudence, and accountability. Second, the idea that Obi only received Christian votes is demonstrably false. Election results from multiple states across different regions clearly show that his support cut across religion, ethnicity, and geography. This narrative is simply a convenient excuse, one designed to soothe egos and avoid confronting uncomfortable truths. Now, what we are seeing again is the same tired tactic of self-deception. These political actors are once more lying to themselves just as they did in 2023. Instead of engaging with reality, they are constructing excuses that make them feel comfortable while ignoring the mood of the country. This brings me to my advice to the ADC coalition. If the ADC is serious about winning the 2027 elections, if they truly want to present a credible challenge and not just participate for formality, then wisdom is required. Political sentiment in Nigeria has shifted. Nigerians are no longer impressed by elite arrangements, backroom deals, or recycled political figures. What matters now is organic support and the ability to mobilize the masses. The ADC should therefore prioritize consensus candidacy over the traditional delegates' primary system. Delegates can be influenced, manipulated, or bought. The masses cannot be ignored forever. The party must honestly ask itself one simple question: who has the largest organic following in Nigeria today? Who can excite the electorate and inspire massive voter turnout? The answer is clear: Peter Obi. He remains the candidate with the broadest grassroots appeal, the strongest youth support, and the clearest reformist message. Ignoring this reality would be a strategic error of monumental proportions. History has already shown what happens when Obi's popularity is dismissed. Repeating the same mistake in 2027 would not just be foolish, it would be political self-sabotage.
Now, this video, as I said, is important for us to critically analyze the chances of Peter Obi and Atiku. Now they are promised to be under the same umbrella, and then it shows that they are here to give Tinubu a run for his money. Since they both promised to be under the same umbrella, so the vote won't be scattered. But of course, if you look at Nigeria as a whole, a lot of things go into election here in Nigeria. We definitely have to ensure that things that has to do with religion and tribe has continued to play significant role in Nigeria politics, because as it is now, the country is most consideration that a lot of people are careful to acknowledge is on the issue of religion, and that is going to play an ethnicity, and that's going to play a lot of role during that ADC convention. It's going to be so critical, even more critical than the APC convention whenever they are going to have it, because APC, there's already somebody there. They won't want to change the person, but who is going to be standing against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? So as time goes on, we know as it is. Let me know what you feel in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like. I'll see you in another video.